I've got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, so I might have to just mute myself and just cough it up at some point. Isn't that nice?
You got to give it smoking, John. I've told you 100 times.
I know it's not COVID because I've just got over COVID. It's just an annoying cough. This is Sheer Isolation. It's presented by Kieran Moore in Trowbridge and Jon Ponting in Cricklade. Hello, everybody. This is Sheer Isolation. Thank you for joining us. I am Jon in Cricklade and Kieran is in Trowbridge.
Trowbridge, I'm back at home, John.
You are back in front of your poster of many gigs. Some of those gigs have now expired, so you need to update your wall.
Yeah, that one's expired. But that one has not. Frank Turner's not. Gary Delaney's not. Fly Yeti Fly's not, but it has sold out. You're right. I need to update my posters. You're absolutely right. I've got loads to update it with though, so watch this space.
Okay. Have you had any interesting events or gigs in the last week?
Always got interesting events, John, but not since our last chat. I haven't actually. I've done one gig at the weekend last week, which was, who was it? It was Tenderlaw, and it was lovely.
We played them last week, didn't we? Yeah,
we did. Yeah, and we're going to be playing someone new this week.
Do you know, this in the last week is the first time I've been in the Bristol Old Vic Theatre. Never been in there. It's an incredible building, isn't it? Beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Went to see a play of Wuthering Heights, kind of a modern take on Wuthering Heights.
Very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, purpose of this show is to promote local music and arts and theatre apparently now as well across the west of England. And we do that. We have a guest on, play a couple of tracks. This week's guests are really fascinating and something a little bit different for us. Do you want to tell us who it was and what they were talking about, Krim? Because I need to.
Well, I don't know his surname, but his Christian name was Julian.
It's Julian Jones.
Julian Jones, of course. There you go. And Julian was the tonight's person who was representing the Hub in Swindon. And the Hub is a brand new organisation that's taken over an old shop unit in Swindon, a large shop unit, and they have a very ambitious plan to regenerate the town centre and what they're going to do with it. So that's Julian. He's going to talk to us about all the wonderful things they're doing in Swindon, and it is very, very wonderful.
It was really nice to hear about this because we've spoken to people before about very similar things, like little networking bits where like an old shop's been taken over to get people in and giving them like space to show art and practice play musical art. So it's nice to think that there's this much bigger one in Swindon, because to be completely mean to Swindon, it's missing a lot of things at the minute, and this is definitely one of the things it has been missing.
Well, yeah, it's a lovely coming together of the community. So you know, when that happens so naturally, you can't beat it.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's play a track then. You know I struggle with pronunciation at the best of times. Is this Ålesund?
So it's Ålesund. Ålesund, and this is a song called Home. Now, Ålesund are a Norwegian pop band. They're from Bristol, but the front woman is from Norway. And they're coming to play at Trowbridge Town Hall this Saturday. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to get in some more international pop. They've got a lovely sound to them. It's beginning to sort of create a reputation and a standard at the Town Hall. People know what to expect now, and this really fits in with the programme there, and it's just exceptionally high standard, good quality. So Ålesund from Bristol via Norway.
Cool, and this track is called Home.
You're one of the
track is called Home. It's by Ålesund.
Ålesund.
Umlauts always confuse me and how you pronounce them. And that video and the sound was recorded at X Church in Clifton in Bristol.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you have a product placement this week, Kieran?
I do, but it's not a conventional product. But let me get it for you. I was going to wear this when you come onto the Zoom. I've got a new coat, John.
Okay, yeah, well, fine. Product placement, your coat. Why?
It's a bit of a bit. I'm glad you asked, because that is an unusual thing to have. But my friend and your friend Jed Elliott from Devices, who's in the internationally renowned band The Struts, he played his first gig for me when he was like 14 or something in a band called Spite, and he just grew and grew and grew, and eventually he outgrew Devices and he ran off to America with this band, and he started dating a little mix, and he's just been brilliant since forever. And anyway, long story short, his mum popped into the town hall the other day in Trowbridge. She come to see me. She goes, "Kieran, I'm getting rid of some of Jed's clobber. Do you want this coat?" And I went, "Oh yeah, I'm having this." And so I've got Jed's coat. So I'm gonna find a picture from his Instagram where he's wearing it, and I'm gonna try and copy the pose and do the "who wore it better." Obviously, it'll be Jed. That's not the point. I think it should be hilarious to tag him in the post.
It's nice that you're like reusing rather than clothes going to landfill. That's very good of you.
Well, it's a really lovely jacket. I mean, it's clearly cost him a lot of money at some point.
Yeah.
I don't care about brands. I don't really, but it's just a lovely coat. It fits me lovely, perfectly. It's lush. So thanks, Jed.
Since we're talking about wardrobe, I bought myself a brand new T-shirt to promote What We Do in the Shadows Series 3 now on BBC.
Oh my God!
Isn't that amazing artwork?
That's amazing. Out of interest, when is Series 3?
It's on iPlayer now.
What? I didn't know this. This is news to me.
Dropped last week. I shouldn't say dropped. I'm in my 40s. Jesus.
Whoa. I'm going to iPlayer right now.
No, we've got to finish doing links.
No, this is more important, John.
Talk to me about our guest.
Sorry, our guest, Julian. Julian from Swindon Hub. He's a wonderful man telling us all the wonderful things that they're doing in Swindon.
It's kind of a space for artists. It's a space for music. There's a cafe. It's a space for gathering the community together. Julian kind of explained. And it's all very new, isn't it? It's only opened in the last couple of weeks. So it's kind of hot off the press.
Last weekend. Yeah.
Here's Julian to to tell us all about it.
Swindon Hub, as it's sort of been called, because we couldn't think of a more descriptive name, is right in the town centre in the parade, 36th the parade, where River Island used to be. And the idea of it is it's a place where communities and culture can sort of develop and start to, have a place where people from all across the town can have a community centre to meet together. And it's got an environmental sort of ethos behind it, because with climate change being very much in the news these days, it's one of the things that we want to talk about, and how it's going to affect everyone going forward, and how we can sort of flourish regardless of the fact that some things are sort of crumbling around us. So it's a good time to get together and start to make music, have food and discussions and talks and things. So on the ground floor, you walk in, and it's very much like a sort of general sort of exhibition space and cafe and stuff. So there's at the moment we got a photo exhibition and an art exhibition on the right, and on the left there's sort of some things about different of the groups that are part of the project. Friends of the Earth being one, and there's a thing about Farringdon Peace Group, which what they're about, and Save the Oasis campaign and things like that. And then upstairs, we've got a lovely space where there's a little stage up at one end, so you can have talks or music or anything up there. We also have jam sessions in the cafe, actually, quite regularly. And one of the really nice things that is looking to be organised is on Sunday evenings, assuming we get that together. It'll be a place where it won't be sort of open as a sort of general cafe, but it'll be a place where people can come and play music and sort of get to know each other.
When did the hub actually open? Because this has been in gestation for quite some time, hasn't it? When did it actually open?
Yeah, it has. Well, it was a little bit of a soft launch, but last weekend was when we actually started sort of opening the cafe properly. So we got a sort of rota of volunteers. It's a little bit thin on the ground in some places. So, we're always looking for people to come and enjoy themselves, help us, and so on.
Excellent.
And at the moment, it's going to be open from Tuesday to Saturday. And leading up to Christmas, it'll probably get busier. So we may well open on Sunday as well.
So how many people are actually involved in the hub as an organisation? How many is there on the committee, as it were?
Well, it's a fantastic team, and it's been really an experience in working and seeing how it all comes together and everyone works together. So, I mean, a sort of core committee of sort of 6 to 8 people has been sort of doing some of the sort of admin type things, like getting the music license, getting the cafe set up, and getting the lift service and all those things. And that's actually a sore point because we've got a problem with the lift at the moment, but that hopefully will be fixed in the not too distant future. So there's about that number of people sort of doing the core admin type things, but then the wider team setting up events and all these sorts of things. There's tens of people.
And presumably everybody that's involved have something to contribute. So there would be someone who presumably was interested in music, so could do the music, and was interested in graphic design, so could do all the sort of imagery and so on and so forth. You've all got skills. So it really is a coming together of people who are just brilliant within their community.
It is, but I mean, people shouldn't feel daunted to just come along. They people don't need to feel that they've got a special skill to contribute, because everyone can help, in fact. And there's always stuff to do, from just helping to keep the cafe tidy and sort of welcome people in through the front door. And there's always stuff to do for everyone. So yeah.
So obviously you said it was a soft launch. Is there a plan to have like a hard launch, like a really big pizzazzy launch, invite everybody, invite the council, invite the paper, invite the radio? Is that all going to happen at some point? Yeah, well, we have got an event coming up where we're going to invite everyone to come and say how they'd like to use the hub. So that'll hopefully be one of our bigger events. We had one at the beginning and lots of people came along, and then it's taken a while to get sort of off the ground, but now we've actually got the keys, and we've got the place all sort of decorated up and open, and the cafe's open. We're going to do that again. So I'll double check on the date for that. But, that's okay.
That's coming up quite soon. We've already had one or two. We had a couple of councillors down last Saturday, actually, funny enough, to talk about COP26. They've just been visiting COP26, the big climate conference up in Glasgow. So that was interesting. Because
you mentioned there that climate change and helping people reduce their emissions, that's kind of part of the hub. So what kind of programs and what kind of promotions are you getting people involved with?
Yeah, that's a very good question. One of the first things that we'll do is have another event, which is in the planning at the moment, to get people to come and talk about what they understand about it, what they think we can all do about it. It's sort of like a little mini people's assembly, if you like. So it'll be, inviting people to come along and talk about it. And then we'll develop a program of informational things, because communication about what you can do, a lot of people just sort of aren't really sure. It's all very confusing. I always divide it into sort of energy, transport, food, fine, and economy and things like that. And in all those areas, there's a lot that both businesses, governments, and people themselves can do.
Going to the building that the hub is in then, so did you say it was House of Fraser that you took over?
No, it was River Island. So
River Island.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are not small spaces, are they? They're quite large buildings, and they was that a daunting task for you to look at and go, crikey, or did you look at it and go, brilliant?
Well, it did take a little while to work out exactly how we were going to make it, and then it suddenly crystallized when we got some very good people involved. Someone that's an interior designer, and someone that's sort of good at putting on events and things. Someone's got a husband who's a bit of a carpenter and electrician and things. So that was really good. So what we've done in the first instance is to make the sort of divide the ground floor into little spaces with different exhibitions and things in each space. And we've got some furniture. People have been very generous in helping us with furniture. So we've got a good set of tables. A thing called Men's Shed has been really helpful.
Yes.
And they've sort of refurbished and upcycled lots of tables and chairs. So we've got some nice little stylish upcycled chairs in the cafe. So that's sort of the ground floor. And then upstairs, at the moment, it's a big open space, and we've got lots of chairs in there, nice theatre-style comfy chairs. And, also a circle where you can sit and have a meeting, and a table where children often come and sort of draw and things like that. So at the moment, that's sort of open plan. And we're looking, one of the things we need to do actually is get a nice big thick curtain so that we can isolate the noise a little bit from the street and have a sort of more cozy music venue in the back, and events and meetings and things like that.
I've looked at the pictures online, and obviously my understanding is you can't do anything permanent to the building, because obviously you've got what I believe is like a temporary lease or permission to use the building, but it could just be, you could be kicked out effectively at any minute. So that sounds dramatic, but that's not what I mean. But so what you've been very clever in making these very temporary walls using and potentially things on wheels that you just spin it around and reconfigure the building quite quickly.
Yeah, that's right. So we do have to be sort of mindful of being portable. We're not making any permanent structures in there. We're fairly confident that if not that space, there will be plenty of other spaces, because there's a lot of retail spaces become available recently. So yeah, we're making everything adaptable so we can move it around.
What you've done there with the hub, I haven't really seen anything quite like it to that grand. You've done quite a grand vision, quite a grand plan there. It's quite a big building. You've been ambitious. You've been big with it. Chippenham opened a hub not so long ago, but their hub was much, much smaller, and is really just a signposting exercise to get people into organisations and places that they might need. And presumably you'll be able to do something similar as well, but you've gone one step further and really offering a much wider package. And if the high street is going to be experience-based, then you seem to be ahead of the curve there.
Yes, well, in fact, there's a nationwide network of these things. There's a thing called Space Generators, a website, and there's places all over the country that are opening things of different sizes and different locations. We're in probably not so many of them are quite so much in the town centre as ours. So, that's been an interesting way to, push the curve and try it out. But you're right. It is one of the bigger ones.
So it's still early days at the moment, but are you optimistic? How's been the response? How are you feeling about the whole thing?
Well, I think because we're able to offer communities a place where they can do stuff which is pretty affordable, that's our aim, is to make it so that unfunded groups can have space generally free, as long as they fit in with the ethos, and people that can afford to pay a little bit can help to subsidise the basic services that we have to pay for.
People are going to want to find out a bit more information about your calendar and what you can do and what you can help them with. And I'm assuming that it's completely inclusive. Everybody's welcome through the door. But where do they go to find more information?
There's a website called swindonhub.org.uk. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's Swindon Hub everywhere. And follow us and have a look and see what's coming up. One of the things that's coming up is an event called Queen Lear. Now that's a very interesting thing, a small theatre company in the southwest. It's on 26th and 28th of November. It's a sort of amateur theatre performance in the round, as it were, I think. And that'll be really interesting.
That looks quite cool.
Then we've got things like jumble sales and holiday markets happening at the weekends leading up to Christmas. Really, we are very much open to people suggesting events that they want to do and coming and making the most of the space.
obsession with you. Will you stay with me when the lights turn on? Will you lay with me when the loves are on? Will you make me see all the things I've done? 'Cause I'm coming back to you. Affects my heartache. Can't seem to understand what's going through my head. The noise I can't take. Now you leave me with the ending that I dread. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back. This is an obsession with you. Will you stay with me when the lights turn on? Will you lay with me when the loves are on? Will you make me see all these things I've done? 'Cause I'm coming back to you. Will you stay with me when the lights turn on? Will you lay with me when the loves are on? Will you make me see all these things I've done? 'Cause I'm coming back to you. Will you stay with me when the lights turn on? Will you lay with me when the loves are on? Will you make me see all these things I've done? 'Cause I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back to you.
We chose a track on Julian's behalf because he didn't know what to choose. But we chose a Swindon band who were previously called Transfer Window that are now called Viduals. And this is an old song by them called Coming Back to You. So if you like your guitar-driven teenage boy indie rock, which I know a lot of people do, they are your Swindon outlet for that genre.
Have you found your What We Do in the Shadows stuff yet? Have you been?
Yes, I have. It's there. All 10
told you it's
episodes,
there.
John. I'm
Told you.
delighted. I'm so excited.
We only got a couple of minutes left, so let's move on to news. Do you have anything in particular news related you wanted to talk about?
Well, actually, John, I'm glad you asked because yes, I do, and I just have to find the name of the company again before we talk about it. But actually, you know what? I'll talk about it anyway. So the spiking of drinks, we know it's a issue, and there's a company that have come out that have called Stop Tops. So that's STOPTOPPS, Stop Tops, and they are non-profit charities specifically designed at creating a solution to the problem of spiking. And they've created this sticky tin foil. So you buy a drink at the bar serve you the drink, they then stick the sticky tin foil over the top of the drink, you poke a straw through it, you can still drink your drink, but it's much more difficult to be spiked. So Stop Tops are offering a solution to all. I've gone to their website, I've looked it up, and I'm now expanding the conversation with a local councillor in Trowbridge to see if there's anything we can do with issuing some of these to local pubs and clubs in Trowbridge to sort of raise awareness, and etc. etc. They are not particularly expensive. They roughly, if you buy in bulk, they come in at a penny per top. So I think that's really good value for money. I think that's a wonderful step in the right direction. It's a really sad that it has to exist. Nevertheless, this is a really good, and because they're foil, they're eco and they're recyclable, etc. Really good way of tackling that. So go check out stoptops.com. That's double P, stoptops.com.
Wonderful. Cheers for that one, Kieran. I hadn't heard of that one. It's not a new idea, but by the sounds of it, it's a really cost-effective solution. I mean, I have seen you can get like bottle toppers in supermarkets and that, but obviously they're reusable ones, and you wouldn't want to take those into a nightclub.
No, you wouldn't. So, but you can now buy a foil one. And not that you necessarily would be leaving your drink unattended. You're certainly advised not to. But were you to do that, it'd become much more difficult. You'd know if your drink had been tampered with, basically.
All right, then let's wrap up. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email sheerisolation@gmail.com, or you can find us online at sheerisolation.co.uk. Don't forget as well, we can find us on YouTube. We're on podcasting services as well as the local radio. Thank you for joining me, Kieran. I'm going to let you wear Jed from the Struts' coat, wrap it up like a cloak, and watch series 3 of What We Do in the Shadows.
Looking forward to it. I will see you next week.
Lovely job. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week. Toodles.
Bye.
Bye-bye.